Oh, goodness gracious, we've made it. Look at us being live.
I would say this is the first time ever that I've gotten all the social media stuff up before.
I know this was the time that gave us.
This is the first time.
Yeah,
You're doing this for how many years? This is the first time I've done it.
Well, we've only been doing this for a little over a year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The first time I've done it.
But anyway. Maniacs, you have found us at 133. Goodness gracious, we're getting up in those numbers. Wait, is it 133?
Sure.
Mighty sus.
Don't question it.
We are not coming to you from Studio 212 in South Lake Union. We are coming to you from magical places that we use sorcery and magic to come to and project all of this knowledge. And we are still the video game podcast where your argument is
invalid.
Thank you.
I'll leave it up to you, Sage Bell, because I always say something cheeky.
I usually do too, but I turned on the light. There we go.
And thankfully, let's see if I can do this smoothly. Oh, I did it wrong. We are brought to you by Voodoo Ranger IPA. That's right, my friends. And hold on, here's your ASMR for the day.
That's a good one. How about this
Was
one?
it? Ooh. All right, let's go.
Cheers.
Yeah.
That was
I'm cutting that for a promo. Lauren's going to love that.
Ooh.
They are B Corp certified, employee-owned, beautiful brewer that makes more than what's the bicycle one? Why the hell can't I remember the name?
Fat Tire.
They make more than Fat Tire, my friends. They make so many IPAs under the Voodoo Ranger line.
They're also New Belgium.
Have? Oh yeah, I'm doing New Belgium too. Sageball, are you doing?
I have the Voodoo Ranger V2K.
Oh, so we got him.
Oh yeah, we got the trifecta. And what do you have? Oh yeah, that one's been promoting hard. V2K, the current new line of their IPA line. How would you describe it? The current seasonal. How would you describe the taste?
So per the Voodoo Ranger line, it is a fruity IPA. This one is guava, grapefruit, and spice.
Holy shit.
It's really good.
I believe it.
Super tight. Just remember, maniacs out there, there's a whole line of it. They take themselves seriously, but not too seriously. What I mean is they have a lot of intent when they go into making IPAs. It's not just, hey, here's a hop bomb. They try nice flavors. And also, I kind of glanced over being B Corp certified. Look to see if any brewery that you're even part of is doing that. It is not easy to get that. It's organizations and corporations that give back or treat their customers to another degree. Anheuser-Busch will never be B Corp certified.
They don't need it. They don't need it.
No, they're too busy swimming in trillions of dollars of Bud Light.
Yep.
So drink better beer. Put your money where your mouth is. And also, this is the beer brand that supports gaming. We are not the only video game podcast that they are helping out. They are out in the world doing that work. So thank you.
Yeah.
Hashtag live dangerously.
Which is strange because beer and video games, for a big demographic, that's definitely a thing that go together. I mean, what would Mario Kart be in a lot of circles without alcohol?
Oh my God, Mario Kart drinking game. That's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever okay. So here's the deal. Have you ever played the version of Mario Kart Drink and Drive where you have to finish a can before that map is done?
No.
So, you go, as soon as the bell starts, like, boop, boop, beep, crack open a beer. You can't cross the finish line until that beer is done. Some people will shotgun the beer and then try to finish the race. Other people will race as normal and try to drink it at the end.
How's that work, though?
You have to take your hands off the wheel and come to a dead stop because you can't drink and drive. You have to come to a dead stop. You have to pull over and go. So I because I'm pretty good at Mario Kart, so I'll get blue shelled and red shelled pretty often. When I'm hit, I'm automatically not driving anymore. So I'll go and drink as much as I can while I'm in recovery. And that's worked for me. Although one of my buddies,
You're doing it wrong. You got to get the Mario Kart. This way you can actually drink and drive.
The wheel. So, with that introduction out of the way, we are Saltier Podcast. This is episode 133. I am Lucky Bandit, baby. You better believe I kept that up there.
Yeah.
I am at loudnbrown on Instagram and Twitter. I am GrossDev with a PH on Steam and PlayStation Network. Goodness, I haven't played games on PlayStation in so long. Wow.
You and most of Japan, it's looking like. I'm surprised we didn't put that on the topic. That's a topic we should we'll probably touch on it next week as more develops.
Yeah, we'll touch on it.
It's not looking good for Sony over there.
Also, there was a video game for this, so I am going to show off my fit today. I have my Initial D shirt I got from Bait Clothing.
Wow.
And those arcade games are fantastic, but there's also a fantastic manga/anime series.
I feel like Captain America with that shirt. Like I don't get that reference.
Oh.
I don't understand that reference.
Yeah, it's Initial D. And that's the best part about it is like nothing on the shirt says Initial D, but if you know, you know. And that's my favorite kind of merch. Like, if you know, you know. If it says the brand name, you're just walking around with an advertisement on you, but whatever. Moving on, cosplay extraordinaire, dog whisperer, and all-around lovely, tall human being.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, it's me, Sage. You can find me on Twitch, usually on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Stay tuned for any other additional nights that come out as a surprise. Follow me on Twitch or Twitter to figure that part out. This last week, I played Drake Hollow.
Huh?
So Drake
which one is
Hollow. So it looks like Grounded. So it's like kind of like the art's really cute.
Okay.
It's a survival game. It's story driven. So there's these little drakes, and they kind of look like the mandrakes, except they don't scream at you from Harry Potter. They're these cute little ones, and you can like level them up, and you have to like clean up their world. So you're basically eradicating evil and saving the native population. And you have a crow that tells you what to do, like in Valheim.
Okay.
Like the first thing I noticed, I was like, oh, it's the Valheim crow for children.
Okay. So this sounds like an edgier version of Slime Rancher.
Maybe. It does have like mediocre reviews, so it's like it doesn't give like all the thumbs up. It's like pretty medium across both Xbox and Steam. It's
okay.
It's okay.
It's just okay.
It's cute, but there are some like like when you're typing in your commands or you're using your like certain things require you to try again. It's sufficient.
Would you say it's sufficient?
It is sufficient.
Yeah.
It's a little bit buggy in like the control department because I'll be like menu again, back. But if you have Game Pass, it's free on Game Pass, so that's didn't have to spend my money on the mixed reviews.
Nice. That's what Game Pass is good for. One of the things.
I've also been playing Jurassic World Evolution. It's basically a zoo tycoon. And if anyone ever stopped by when I was playing a different zoo tycoon on stream, I don't remember the name of that one at the moment, but it was like really cute. You can shoot people.
It was really cute. You can shoot people.
I like the dynamics of the colorful, cutesy one more than how Jurassic World Evolution runs, because I can't set up like regular tasks for my employees. I have to manually find the ranger car. So find the station, grab one of the cars, and tell it to do only like at most 3 tasks. Okay, and then I have to maintain it. Like I have to keep going back instead of them actively filling things.
So like regular management.
I have to do it.
You got to babysit them. Yeah, you got to do it. Okay.
So
Nice.
yeah. Those were all the things I played. I guess we're going down.
Yes. Come down to my level. It's very sufficient down here. What's up, y'all? This is the save rings. ... I had to make sure I had 3 dots in it. Yeah, okay, I do.
Like Tribe Called Quest, gotta say the whole thing.
Yep. You can find me online in the land of Eorzea, playing as my stalwart level 74 paladin, baby shoes, with the sky blue tuxedo. And I
hate that name so much. Why do I hate that name so much?
Because you haven't seen me in the game. It fits if you're in the game, but it's pretty hilarious because I forget that that's my name. So in the cutscenes when you're talking to other characters and it shows the dialogue, they're like, "Hey baby, like good thing you're here. Oh, you saved us, Miss Shoes." And I'm like, "What the? Oh yeah, that's my name." But
Old world hack, maniacs. Have you ever played Final Fantasy VII and switched all the names to Sephiroth?
No, what
the
happens?
storyline is pretty much impossible to figure out.
Oh yeah, because it's like, "Hey Sephiroth, good to see you. Now come stop Sephiroth."
Yeah, come with me and Sephiroth to go stop Sephiroth. And it's not that good because it'd be different if you could just spam X and skip everything, but they ask choices every now and then. Like, go with Sephiroth. Go with Sephiroth. I'm
Okay.
like, oh, damn it.
Scum save time. Gotta wind it back. But yeah, I do have Cloud's full outfit on there, and it's like,
oh wow,
and it's like dyed black. It looks pretty cool. That's all I've been doing. I haven't been keeping up with the news. I haven't been doing nothing. I just been working and playing video games, and that game in particular, trying to cram it all in before the expansion comes out in October,
goodness,
September, November, somewhere in there. It comes out this fall.
And in addition, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What are you gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna say, in addition to that, we also have a friend's podcast that I've been listening to quite a bit, and it's How to Be a Better Drinker.
Nice.
Download. They also stream only on Facebook. I don't think they have a YouTube channel.
Okay.
And London hasn't made title cards for our YouTube channel in weeks. What's that all about?
I would say she's slacking. I would say she's slacking, but we don't pay her, so. Oh yeah, and carrying on, pick up them stonks if you haven't yet. Pick up them game stonks.
Oh, where'd you get that shirt? That's pretty great.
I don't even remember. Someplace online. I don't even remember. I randomly ordered it, but I had to.
Did anybody? I know people made some money, but did anybody cash in hard from that big surge?
Yeah, my brother made $8,000 on like $400 in.
$8,000 is a pretty good bump, man. That'll make your life easy for sure.
And the thing is, he kept most of the stock too. He still has most of it.
Wow.
I'm up to about 25 shares. I'm up about $3,000 because I bought in when it was like $70. So,
yeah, no, I guess you're right, because some people went in when it was $1, right?
Yeah, it was $9 at its lowest. It was 9 something. And
oof.
which is great for us because that's where the hedge funds try to short it at was $9. So they borrowed a bunch of stock to be like, we'll pay you back, and then they'll keep the difference. But now it's worth 18 times that much. So now they're just 18 times in the hole every time they got to pay the people back that they try to short the stock on.
What I mean is, do you know anybody that cashed out and has money in hand from this debate? Because I know people that have stocks, like they beat the system, but I don't know anybody that's withdrawn anything yet.
Yeah, I know a few people. The one I said who made the most was my brother. Made $8,000, and that wasn't even most of it. He just sold some of it. But that's not the point of the GameStop stock. You're supposed to keep it because these hedge funds will keep owing the money back infinitely, and it'll just keep going. So either they're gonna bust.
It's a total Robin Hood story. I freaking love it.
Yeah. So either they're gonna bust or they're gonna bust. Like that's or the government or someone's gonna cheat for them, and it'll just be blatantly obvious to the whole world that you cheated to save the rich people. So either way, it's a win. I'm about $1,500 in, and I don't care if I lose it, because even if I lose it, that means that they had to cheat for me to lose it, and it's gonna be public knowledge that they cheated. So worth it.
So that said, speaking of public knowledge, Fortnite. How bad is that? Segue.
I mean,
it's pretty bad.
Keith the Boogie and I were talking about this before the show, how Fortnite's one of those games where it's like, well, Fortnite, so all gamers. It's kind of like how people look at Twitter and like Twitter's like the whole internet. Like that's what the whole
Yeah,
internet
but
thinks because
Fortnite
Twitter.
has that many active players, especially now that people are just checked out of Overwatch. They're checked out of all these other, Blizzard, Activision titles.
Mhm. Dude, there's more people playing Crossfire in China right now than the entire world's playing Fortnite. So I don't want to hear that. There's still more people playing League of Legends. There's still more people playing Counter-Strike. I don't know.
Yeah, but what about COD though?
Yeah, more people playing Call of Duty or about. I mean, Fortnite's big and it is one of the biggest, but it's not all video games. And like that's where I tease people and that's where I jab Fortnite a little bit. And not only that, but Fortnite is what funds Epic so they can go out and buy games like Rocket League and then ruin them. So that's another reason I kind of poke fun at Fortnite. And as we're going to talk in a later subject, you'll see where they're trying to throw around their Fortnite money. And I'm glad the rumor is that it didn't happen.
So what we're seeing is that Fortnite announced a new imposter mode that plays very similarly to Among Us. And the main problem is one, they basically used the exact words, the exact like everything. They did not try to hide the fact that they were using the same game mode.
Yeah.
They used the same terminology.
Because Epic is a terrible company, and then they're trying to sue Apple to say Apple's a terrible company. You both suck. So just whatever.
And somehow I got in a different thread like the next day from someone who is a developer on Among Us. And she's like, this is a shock and like a disappointment. And like, they didn't even like try to talk to us about it. It's just.
Why would they? They're just big multi-billion-dollar corporation. Like why ask for permission to do any of that? But lo and behold, if anybody had any kind of Fortnite ripoff, they'd be all over them. So yeah, doesn't shock me. Doesn't shock me. I didn't know that they used the exact imposters mode.
Yeah.
That's very on the nose. So like they're just like, what are they gonna do? Sue us? Like
I don't think Among Us makes enough money to do that.
That's what I'm saying. Watch as part of some settlement. Epic will offer generously to buy out Among Us to make sure that it has a stable home and it has to make sure it's got financial backing and then they can do other creative ventures. Epic's terrible. They're so terrible. And the thing is, Tim Sweeney, their CEO, is one of the grandfathers of PC, not just PC gaming, but just mainstream gaming in general. I mean, you're looking at the guy who did Unreal Tournament. You're looking at the guy who built the Unreal Engine. You're looking at the guy who made mods a thing, like in the mainstream for gaming. And now he's turning around being Mr. Corporate, selling out to Tencent, suing Apple when your company's shit too and does things of a anti-consumer nature. The entire Epic Game Store is anti-consumer. Yeah, it's just weird to me. So this does not shock me.
Doesn't shock me either. I don't think it shocks any of the maniacs out there. It is just. Wait, what game was I watching? I was just watching about how differently the actual indie companies work against these giant corporations. And we've all been to PAX. It's shocking sometimes when you see a team that makes this beautiful, well fleshed out game, and there are 5 of them.
Yeah.
What's
that game we were talking about here on the show? Why can't I remember it? It was
Not
a really
Limbo.
awesome. It was a really awesome game, and like one person made it.
Oof.
What was it?
Stardew Valley?
Yes. Thank you. Yes. Look at a game like Stardew Valley.
That's nuts.
That game's insanely detailed and beautiful, great music, and one person did that.
Some people are that person,
Mm-hmm.
But moving on, it's kind of surprising. We started off today a little light, and then I went and looked at our topic sheet, and we got a whole episode ahead of us, so we gotta move.
Yeah, it's kind of. I was trying to. We're trying to keep it like not so negative, but just all the news it just sucks. So we
just gotta make it saltier sounding.
Yeah, you got all the salty news, and I got the uplifting, empathetic Libra Hawaii kid news, and everything is kind of nice. So we'll do your stuff, and we'll end on a high note. Moving on to the next topic.
Speaking of Epic ruining things. So here's your Fortnite money. It's the biggest game ever. You're listening to this Keith the Boogie, your little skins and stuff you're buying. So the rumor is, And people have been talking about this. We brought it up at work at my job, just in general, just goofing around. But we're like, well, sort of the joke right now at my job is if a game comes out on the Epic Game Store first on the PC, like the PC version hasn't come out yet. Like, oh yeah, I'm waiting for the PC version, but it's on Epic Games. No, I'm waiting for it to come out on PC. But it's on. You play it on the PC. No, it's not on PC. I'm waiting for the PC version. So this was a rumor that IGN reported on that Epic reportedly offered Sony $200 million to have exclusives, probably for like 6 months, and then it'd be on everything else. To get their PlayStation games on PC, because Sony themselves have come out and said that they are planning on putting more of their library in other places, particularly on the PC. As we reported about 3 weeks ago, they bought Bluepoint and another company which is known for PC ports and writing the tools that are used for it. They bought these two companies. Bluepoint's most recently known for the Demon Souls remake that's on the PS5. One of the few actual games worth a fuck on the PS5, if we're being honest.
But what about, don't they have Knack 2 on the
yes.
PS5?
No, Knack 2 is a...
I've been watching too much Donkey. I'm sorry.
Knack 2. And they got, you can play Fortnite at 120 FPS, I guess. Ain't that right, Keith and Boogie?
Ooh, got him.
But yeah, to be honest, I didn't really read too much about this because it just sounds stupid. It's so stupid that I'm sure it's true. But Sony was wise to potentially turn that down. They might take a deal like this. I was thinking they would, because Sony does not also take down free money either. Because that's been Sony. Sony's been, for those that don't know, PlayStation and all that included, Sony's been in survival mode since like 1998. Just so you guys know. Sony has not been like, oh, they sold 150 million PlayStations. That is like their third highest profit thing in their whole company. And they've been in survival mode. Remember when Sony used to have like 40 divisions? Now they have like 7. And their two biggest ones is banking and real estate. PlayStation and stuff is third behind all that. So for Sony to turn down free money, potentially, that's kind of a big deal because they don't do that normally.
Not Sony Pictures?
Dude, Sony Pictures. If it weren't for Spider-Man and Jumanji, they would have folded like 5 years ago. Like for real. For real. They lost the rights to James Bond, basically, or it's like it's some weird profit sharing limbo. And the next James Bond movie is they're putting the girl who was in like the last two of them, like the black chick, they're making her 007. While 007 still exists in that world. Why not just make her 008 and just make those movies?
I thought she had a different number. I thought she was gonna.
No, the actual pretty much confirmed thing is she's gonna be 007, which makes no sense because if you watch GoldenEye, there was a 006. So why would the next agent be 007 again?
I don't know, but why haven't you not talked about Peter Rabbit 2 coming out?
Because the kids love that.
That's gonna kill. Don't Breathe 2.
Well, here's the thing. The movies do make money, but compared to what they cost to make and the marketing, they don't make that big a profit. So they'll have a movie that will make like $500, $600, $700 million. People go, oh, Sony made a lot of money. But that movie costs like $450 million to make. Plus they had to split the cut with the theater. So at the end of the day, Sony probably made about $120 million. That's not a lot. When you look at,
I made that yesterday, so I get it.
For like a Hollywood studio, that's nothing. So over the course of a year to make $1 billion when Disney's making 13 billion, Fox is, well, not Fox anymore, but your competitors and stuff, and yeah. So there's that. I don't know if anything will still come of this. I wouldn't doubt it if we see Sony sign some kind of deal where all their PlayStation games come out.
I gotta click the link on the next thing. I just read your
what's up?
Next topic. Is that a thing?
What's that?
We'll go on to the next topic. Start it up.
It's very Blizzard. This is very much a rumor. But where there's smoke.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a rumor.
It's definitely a rumor. But part of it could be true. Partially. Like I think there's something in there that's true. I don't think that this exactly is gonna happen. There's no way. But I think somewhere in there's a nugget of something that somebody glommed onto. Somewhere in there's something happening. But the rumor is Blizzard would close for a year, rebrand.
Oh, someone's buying Adidas
and do some stuff.
Adidas.
So yeah, I just thought I'd put this out there. This is more just for like discussion because I don't think this is true, but I think something in there is true. There's a reason why somebody would say this.
I'm trying to think of the last time a video game company took a hit this big.
That would be Square Enix when Final Fantasy 14 first launched. And Square Enix itself took a big hit over the year, and they actually pulled that game back and took 2 years to retool it. So that was kind of a big deal. Because from that was like what 2010 or so. Square Enix
I think the
wasn't doing
last
so
time
hot.
I was scared a company was going to go down was when Capcom sold Red Dead Revolver to Rockstar because they couldn't keep the lights on.
Yeah.
And I told myself, Resident Evil, Mega Man, Street Fighter, Capcom
Yeah.
is selling off games because they can't afford to finish them.
Yeah. We were reporting that
that's the worst I've seen a company.
We were reporting that on the show. Remember, we were saying how they had just enough in their bank account to make one game and still pay their bills. And it wouldn't be a big game either. So it was Street Fighter 5, and that's why there wasn't a story mode per se. Because they just shipped they just got it out the door.
Street Fighter 5 kept them afloat, but Monster Hunter made them profitable again. They made so much money with Monster Hunter.
That's the best selling Capcom game of all time.
Dude, that made Capcom a new powerhouse, and now we have 9-foot vampire ladies. Thank God.
Yes, Resident Evil, Street Fighter 5 is what kept the lights on long enough for Monster Hunter to come out. Yep.
Yeah, like Street Fighter 5 was cost neutral. You know, they didn't make money, but they like you said, they kept the lights on.
Here's a plug for a game. If you guys have ever played a Game Dev Story on Android, it's called Game Dev Tycoon. It's 2 separate games, but Game Dev Story. When you release a game and like you have your budget to keep the lights on and you release a game and it sells pretty well, but just enough to like even out with like the bill bar. So you're just like, okay, we can stay in business. We can stay in business for another month, and here's another month's sales. We can stay in business. So that's pretty much what Street Fighter 5 did. It just kept the lights on, kept the lights on, kept the lights on. Monster Hunter. So yeah, that was a thing.
Word. That's it. I like that.
Yep.
Okay, so a game that I don't play, but I know a lot of people do play. World of Warships.
Mm-hmm.
Man, the video game world is so funny. You would never think that a game like World of Warships was insanely popular, but it is.
That game is amazing. I made myself stop playing it because it would have just taken over my life. I would have stopped playing all other games and just played that game. World of Warships is awesome. The game's really, really good. And the way that it's set up is, yes, you can pay for things, but it's not going to guarantee you that you're going to be any good with them. Say, for instance, you can buy an awesome ship, and there's 10 tiers that you kind of work your way up. And you can buy an awesome ship, but it's a rank 7 ship. So you can go into the game, buy that rank 7 ship, but you'll be playing you'll be playing against people that like work their way up to 7, so they're way better than you. So they're going to smoke you. So having an awesome ship doesn't guarantee anything.
So then why is there all this snafu over people leaving over the monetization of the loot boxes?
Because they're getting kind of crazy with it. They want a piece of that. They see with 2K and EA and Blizzard and all these other companies. Well, Blizzard's not so bad with them.
Call of Duty is,
yes,
but Overwatch isn't.
Yeah, Overwatch isn't so bad with it.
It's so funny. You could throw all the money you want at Overwatch, and it won't make you better.
At
all.
And people know that going into it, and they buy stuff because it's cool looking or whatever, to customize your character. And I totally get that. I play Final Fantasy. I probably dropped about $150 on cosmetics and just crazy crap in that game.
Got him.
Yep, got me. So I guess they're just taking it there, and they want to go to that 2K route, and they want to go that Blizzard Activision Blizzard route. And it's turning people off, because to me that was the beautiful part of that game was, yes, you could pay for stuff, but it didn't guarantee anything, and you could play through the end and be awesome at that game and never put $1 in it. Like truly you could, and get the most out of that game. So I guess they're trying to upset that flow a little bit and pull a Battlefront 2 on them, and people aren't happy with it.
How big is the mass exodus?
A lot of the main custom creators have either stopped creating content, kind of like walked away. But it's enough though, because the community was happy before. So if one of them walked away in protest, it would have been a big thing, let alone a couple of them. And like I said, all the way up until this point, it was balanced. It wasn't a pay to win. You could enjoy the game for nothing, or you could spend $1,000. It didn't matter. If you liked the game and wanted to give them money, you could do that. If not, you could just keep playing. Yeah, so I guess they totally tried to upset that, and it blew up in their face. Shocking. And that's where we are right now. So I just thought I'd report on it because, like I said, I haven't touched that game since, and I have it on Steam now too. and I still haven't touched it because it's one of those games that'll just suck you right in. And you're looking at it from the outside, and you might watch videos of it and be like, okay, what's the big deal? You're like, you're in ships and stuff. But like once you're into the game and you like say you actually get into like the flow of it,
It's one of those.
There's no other game that's quite like it, and it's just fun. It's actiony, but it's also kind of you have to stop and think things through before you make your moves at the same time. So it's twitchy, but it's also you have to think a couple steps ahead too. So it's just really well made, and it's a great game. And sad to see it go through this, but also maybe this could be a wake up sign. Some of these companies like stop being so fucking greedy all the time. It's like stop trying to shit on your game for a couple bucks.
As so many companies do.
Yep.
Who's got the Steam? Not Steve. The Valve have a pretty good track record of not doing that.
Valve are the ones that modernized the loot box. It all started with TF2.
Oh no.
TF2 had loot crates, and Valve would sell you the key for $1, so you could open the crate and get a hat. That's what kicked off loot boxes right now as we know them.
But that's cosmetic.
Yes, it didn't change the game or anything.
So
some of the weapons though did change up the gameplay of some of the classes enough where if the person got good at it, it would upset the balance in a game.
I did not know there were different weapons in TF2.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
That's the problem.
Yes.
Because if it was just cosmetic, I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. But that's what started it though, was people getting hats out of loot crates, because they're called loot crates in TF2. People getting hats out of loot crates is what started loot boxes as we know them right now.
Okay, and then, oh God, do I even want to click this link?
Do you?
I don't know. The Verge reports.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes the Verge aren't. Sometimes they're not total idiots.
Yeah, but predatory design. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, that's the next topic, London. This is going to be gaming companies should avoid predatory design, lawmakers say in the UK. So this is predatory as far as trying to get money. I thought it was, I don't know, like visual design.
Yeah.
No. UX design where, you go to the next screen and your cursor's already like hovering over a buy button.
Yeah, or you install something and everyone's like, do you want to install a vast anti-malware software? And it's already checked. Like, I hate that shit. Yeah. So basically what this is just Democrats in Congress has sent out a letter to 12 of the largest gaming companies. So of course, like who would you expect in there? Blizzard, Epic Games, because Apple's terrible, Epic Games, Microsoft, Nintendo I don't really get, because they sell a lot of DLC, but it's not, I don't know, Riot, and probably some other companies, but 12 companies, 2K probably in there too, Rockstar. But they sent a letter saying like, hey, you see these mandates that they're making over in the UK, you guys need to make something, try to stick to something similar to this, because it's looking like we might pass something that's similar. And I thought this was funny because they kind of waited until the UK approached this, came up with some legislation and are voting on it and are passing some of it before the US government just like, remember in class, you'd wait till the smart kid was finished writing and you'd be like,
that's a fantastic analogy.
Yeah. So that's exactly what they did here. They didn't want to make a move. And then in UK, the UK is doing it. Let's just copy them. So the UK got their stuff out the door. So now the people in Congress are writing gaming companies and being like, hey, try to follow this. Because if we pass something similar, you kind of already want to be lined up for it. So that's good. That's a good thing. So
step in the right direction.
Yeah, they want to target microtransactions aimed at children. If you want to name it at adults, okay, fine, whatever. We'll tackle that when we get to it.
I mean, that's gambling.
Yeah. Yes.
That's alcoholism. That's cigarettes. That's that's a small fish in a very, very gnarly ocean.
That's a sports booking.
Oof.
So that's where we are there. So that's
good. What does Frank Reynolds say in Sunny in Philadelphia? Hey, what's the it's not what's the damage. What's the deal? Anyway, whatever. Sports betting.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, what's the action?
Yes, there you go.
Don't even say, hey, how are you? Or how's your day? What's the action? Let's go.
Yeah. I got my Caesar Palace bookings all right over here in the corner.
No. So This podcast brought to you by a future Vegas trip played by Voodoo Ranger. Huh? Huh?
Yeah. Wear your
We
stuff
just-
at Evo.
I know. We just start throwing wooden nickels all over the betting tables. They're like, these are for free IPAs. This won't get you bets.
Mhm.
And then we'll tell them, yeah, but have you had Voodoo Ranger IPA? It's delicious.
You're
Yeah.
not living rangerously if you haven't
all.
been drinking rangerously.
Have you
I
had the
know.
New Belgium Mountain Time? This shit is
No,
good.
what is that? What kind of is it? A
Explain it.
beer?
It's a lager.
Mm,
It's kind of it's
I
hard
have
to
a fruit
explain.
smash.
Nice. It's kind of
Tropical punch.
you know, like when you drink a lager or like a really tart IPA, and it's got that like really sharp taste at the beginning of it.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of has that, but instead of it staying sharp, it kind of smooths out, and then it's kind of dry afterwards, so where like you don't taste it anymore. So you get that really, really sharp, like almost citrusy kind of flavor. It really hits you because you're not, you're usually sometimes you drink beer, you're kind of expecting that kind of sharp taste. This is really sharp, but then it goes away. So you get that like really like, so you get like this like burst of flavor, and then you're ready for the next burst of flavor. That's the closest I can explain to it. It's kind of hoppy, it's kind of sharp, but in a good way. Yeah.
Everybody, my mom says hi.
Hi, Mom.
She was like, Derek, what are you eating? Say hi to everybody.
Hi. So yeah.
Okay. Well, last bummer topic of the day, and then we're gonna go to Happy Land with gross stuff.
What we got?
GameStop, baby.
Yes, we were speaking on this earlier. With the stonk shirt there. We were speaking on this earlier. I just saw some articles today because last week people were saying, okay, get ready to buy. And they were right. It dropped down to 151, which was the lowest it's been in a while.
Yo,
pushed it back
it's
up
at
to
$151 right now?
No, it's at $176 right now.
So people bought that at 10?
Yeah. Yeah, people bought it at like $9 when it was $9. The hedge funds bought it by the billions at $9, and now they're eating shit at 165, 167. Because they're in the hole for that difference. They're like, that's not profit for them. That's them paying out of their own pocket. But basically, this article was kind of chintzy. It was kind of cheap shots and stuff in it. But the point of the article was that your long side traders like me, people that are buying it and will hold it forever, as long because that just means the hedge funds won't get it. Those may end up being the ones with the last laugh, which 10 months ago people are like, duh, that's why we're holding
that's right, because when they bought it at 9, they bought $1 billion of it trying to make it go to 1.
Yeah,
they wanted it to go down.
So basically what it is they'll go to somebody who's just sitting on the stock. They'll be like, let us borrow that stock and we'll pay you back the stock. So say you borrowed it from somebody, 100 shares at like $9.
Mm-hmm.
Then you wait for the stock to drop. You sell the stock. You wait for the stock to drop to like 7. You buy it back. You give the person back their 100 shares, but you kept that $2 per stock. So that's how they were getting over and making billions free that way.
And now they are.
Well, if you borrowed it at $9, expecting it to drop to 7, but now, and then you sold it, and now it's worth $167. You got to pay back those 100 shares at $167 instead of
I love it.
$7.
I love it.
Yep.
God, this financial system's so jacked.
It is. So to me, like I said, if I'm out $1,000, $1,200, whatever, because that just it blew them up, like they're in trouble, and for them to come out of this at all, it's going to have to be the government or them blatantly cheating, and everyone will see that they're blatantly cheating. So to me, that's totally worth it.
Same. Thanks for your due diligence.
Yes.
Oof.
Diligence?
Yes.
Hey.
And
I got
as we brought
biscuit
up,
brain. Give me a break.
nice. And as we brought up on the show, this has the possibility to go on infinitely, to the point where they can owe infinity money back, meaning your stock could be worth infinity money. Because there's not enough money in the world that they could pull to pay back the stock that they shorted.
It's trigonometry. It's not trigonometry. It's statistics, right? It's that hyperbola.
Yeah, but
parabola.
Instead of it tapering off and going back into another dip, like it'll just keep compounding on itself, and then
that's dope.
To the moon.
That's dope. Now, if we could get Elon and Joe Rogan's money, that'd be great. Just gimme.
Joe Rogan's money. What's that guy even do with his money anyway?
Hunts elk, man. Don't you know?
What do you need $200 million to hunt elk for? It's ridiculous.
He uses diamond-studded arrows. I don't know. I don't know his life.
What does he even do with that? That's crazy. Anyway, so that's what's going on with that. So if you see GameStop stock for like $150, $160, grab it.
Actually, does Hot Rico Girl 16 have any stocks? I forget if we asked them if they were part of that last time he was on the podcast.
Yeah, I don't think he did. I'm not sure. I don't think he did, though. I remember us asking him that, though.
One of our guest hosts did. Oh, my God. Was it Dark Kane? It was probably Dark Kane.
I think it was Dark Kane.
That guy, Dark Kane would, and he would explain.
I'm pretty sure it was Shady, too.
No, I don't think he did because he had to put all his money in his down payment to the crib.
Okay.
To the crib.
Yes.
Which soon he's gonna have a big coming out party and have everybody over. Not coming out, but
I was going to say a housewarming party or a coming out party. It's two different things.
Or it might be a coming out. I don't know. We show up and he's head to toe in leather. It's like, hey, this is my thing now.
Yep.
I mean, don't kink shame.
It's not kink shame. It's freaking great. You know, one of the singers of one of my favorite bands is just way into BDSM, and he did that at a Warped Tour. He's like, hey, I want to share something about myself. And everybody was backstage just drinking, and he comes out, and him and his partner, like, had, like, a performance, basically. Everybody's sitting going, what is happening?
Yeah, there's something.
And he's like, this is my life now, and I wanted to share it with all of you.
Okay.
And they were just sitting there with their tall boys going, oh.
I'm trying to drink a beer. Like, what are you doing?
But you know, it was in the moment. He talked about an interview. Anyway, that's No Effects. They're great. Listen to them. I love them.
Really? That was No Effects guy?
Yeah, Fat Mike.
Know that.
He's like that is his. If he's not making music, he is about that life. He goes to meetups and can, you know, he's all about it. Ow, this one hurts. Moving on to Happy Land, everybody. FGC baby.
Wee.
London, if you could hit that beautiful, beautiful link. One of my favorite YouTube creators, ABI Tutorial, just had a comment on the new Melty Blood that got announced last year, and now he was able to get some hands on some videos and what the character models look like. This is the guy that hates NetherRealm. This is the same dude. Because he's an animator. Like, and he explains why fighting game characters are dressed so extremely. And he defends the design of Melty Blood and saying this game came from a dating game, you know, or like a life sim where everybody kind of looked like school students. And in those games,
they kind of look like Persona characters.
Yeah, right? So in that game, you learn about the characters through conversation and making decisions. And so the mystery is seeing someone in a school uniform. You don't know anything about them. And you get excited to learn what they're all about. With a fighting game where it's not so much story-oriented, especially on the character select screen, you need to know what that person's about before you select them. And everything about the way they stand. They were talking, ABI Tutorial was talking about how successful Guilty Gear is at that. Just the way someone's idle animation can show you the way their gameplay is. You know? Axel in Guilty Gear will put his hands behind his back and kind of tap his shoe, and he's slow moving. And his laid back style is very campy and very keep away. Like, I don't even want to fight. And he throws the sickles out away from him. And then other people will be breathing like really fast, and they're all of their clothes will move with them. Like, it's a hot-blooded son of a bitch. This is the Rushdown character. Anyway, if you need to know more about not just fighting games, but game design, not in systems, because that's another guy that I like, Leon Massey, but with the character visual, like their clothes and the way they move and their animations.
Was that girl a pilgrim?
Yeah, she's a maid.
Okay.
And it's kind of weird. So this game was kind of a goof. Like this was kind of, what does DC call it? The Elseverse,
Elseworlds.
Elseworlds.
Mhm.
The first Melty Blood, they took a bunch of. Imagine taking The Sims or taking Animal Crossing people and making a fighting game in depth. That's basically the first Melty Blood because it's Type Moon. Type Moon also
Smash
does,
Bros.
I guess. Type Moon does the Fate series also, but
There's
so
Fates
they
in
had
Final
this.
Fantasy.
Yeah, they had this basically the sim where you go and talk to a bunch of people around your school, and there's this mystery about vampires, and they kind of did a joke game going, hey, what if this is a fighting game? Let's go. And they got together with a very small development team that made indie games, and they made the first Melty Blood. And it was so successful, they had to throw it out into an arcade cabinet. And now the fighting game far eclipses the original sim game.
Crazy.
But look at that comparison of, light novel characters to fighting game characters. They're just... the mysteries in the conversation, not in the way they fight. Anyway, thank you, Lennon. This is also like over 12 minutes long, and he really, really hammers it home and explains it. But he's good at all sorts of stuff. He doesn't have that many videos either. It's pretty fun. He has an entire video where he just rates Keyblades and how successful their design is from the entire Kingdom Hearts series. So wholesome. So wholesome. Anyway, any of you ever played Melty Blood?
No.
That's what the characters look like. See what I mean? Like, how does
I feel
that
like I've cosplayed from it, and it's not even that.
And yeah, you learn about the people through the gameplay. It's freaking great. Thank you, London. And that goes on to the next topic. And Evo fucking happened, my friends. Evo was a thing. The biggest fighting game tournament in the world, now owned by Sony, right? Russ?
I think it was Sony.
Yes.
Yeah, but this one was online, so, this wasn't a quote-unquote real Evo. Me and Sagebo went to the real Evo. Woo! So much fun. Sage played games, stepped on people.
Learned Japanese, forgot the Japanese.
Forgot the Japanese. I didn't gamble at all. Not a single time.
I didn't start getting your drinks because you were too drunk. You were
is that what happened to my drinks? That's awesome.
Yeah, she instead of cutting you off, she just started giving me your drinks and giving you the water.
God tier. God tier. Anyway, Evo happened. I mostly followed the Guilty Gear top 8. We thought Sonic Fox was going to take all of it. Not even his series. He was nowhere on Exerd. Well, he probably made it out of pools. Oh, they probably made it out of pools because they're quite strong at fighting games. Their game sense is so good. I think they made it out of Street Fighter 5 pools one year. No, not to top 8, but, to top like 64. And people were saying, what's this freaking NRS gamer doing in Street Fighter? But Sonic Fox is that gamer, just good at it. Turns out, ended up getting squashed by an American Guilty Gear player because all those years of knowledge, Guilty Gear is a very, very different game. And some of the hijinks Sonic Fox was pulling didn't make it on that high level. Proof of the fact is Sonic Fox made it to top 8, but in the bottom, in loser's bracket, because, it's like basically gatekeeping. The Guilty Gear is a very difficult game in a way smaller community that is getting much bigger, and it is so much fun. I had fun watching these matches, but if London will click... Oh, wait, no. I guess there's the YouTube link of the other thing. Whatever. I had more fun watching the Asia YouTube top 8. and that gameplay was much better. It was China, Korea, and Japan mostly, and their gameplay is it's just so much bigger in that part of the world. The gameplay is just better. It's better. They're obviously better. If any of these sons of bitches, yeah, thank you, Lennon with a Y. Look at this. If any of these people were at the US Evo, no Americans would have gotten into top 8. Just watching the side-by-side tournaments, they're just so much better. Also, Axel is who Goon PNW mains.
Oh,
So if you look at this gameplay, wait for it, Saverings. This is the way this player plays. Watch. Get off of me. Stay on the other side of the screen. I don't want to fight you. Stay over there. Stay over there. And that's his whole gameplay. It's so infuriating.
oh, this has got the sickles, yeah.
Yeah, but that's that gameplay. See, jump back, throw the sickle. Jump back, throw the sickle. And Nagoto-yuki is an 8-foot black samurai vampire. It's such a freaking great game, but
So he's a giant man.
he is a giant man, and not the biggest man in the game, because Potekman and Faust are both taller than him. A lot of big characters in this game. And Maniacs, just play Guilty Gear. This is the most accessible it's ever been. It's still new. You're obviously going to get mopped by people like this, but me, Commander, our buddy Freeze Ahmed, we've been playing, and we're having a blast, and we're not that good. It's a fun game. It's the most beautiful fighting game I've ever seen. The soundtrack is all metal. Look at this. Stay off me. Thank you, London with a Y. This game is giving me all new heart because Street Fighter V is so bad right now. All the new characters suck. And their last character, it already got leaked. They're working on Street Fighter 6. The last character they released is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white man from America that is kind of an MMA fighter.
Isn't it Ken already?
I know. And there's also the super
guy,
soldier
and
who's a boxer.
And who's the guy who in Alpha that wears like the jail suit?
Cody.
Yeah.
Also blonde hair, blue-eyed, punchy guy. And he's not a grappler or he's not a speedster, he's medium build. And we're just looking like,
you know why?
That?
No, but you know why? Because they're a Japanese company and they're going to make what the hell they want to make. So they're not going to be like, oh, we're going to mix it up and be different. No, they're just going to just make it how they used to make. I was going to bring this up earlier because
they did that with season 2. Season 2, they swung for the fences and people gave them crap.
Yeah, because playing Final Fantasy, which is a Japanese game, which came out in like 2012.
Yeah,
there's writing in that game where I was taking screenshots because I was like, they would not. If this game came out right now, they would not write that at all. And this whole cool scene I just saw with these characters would not even exist. It'd be something else. And there's a lot of that stuff in that game, and I think that's why. And here's the thing too: like a lot of games I've been playing the last 4 or 5 years have been like kind of open ended, you know, like a Stellaris or something, and it's sci-fi where it's talking like in big terms and stuff. And then when you go and play like a story driven game from like before, like 2016 or so, you're like, oh yeah, I forgot they used to write stuff like this. So I ran into like that a lot in Final Fantasy, and a lot of it is just like they would never write this if this came out right now. Like this whole section would not exist. Like who knows if I'd even be playing this. It's weird. Like when you play, it's like almost like a time capsule. Like I dug up something from like 2015, and it's almost unrecognizable. So yeah. It was weird. It was a weird experience. I have some screenshots that I'll send you guys, and you guys are like, oof, like they wouldn't put that in a game now.
Yeah, throw it on the Twitter, baby.
Yeah. And it's nothing. If you played it before 2015, you wouldn't even think about it. But now you're like, ooh, that's
oh, you mean like watching a late 80s comedy? Jesus.
Yeah. And you're just like, that's problematic. It's just like Warner Brothers taking out Pepe Le Pew from Space Jam, but they still had the Clockwork Orange guys in it because Pepe Le Pew's problematic. And I was just like, okay. You had the It monster, but you took Pepe Le Pew out of a kid's movie. Okay.
You know, Warner Brothers has quite a few problems. I finally got caught up on some DC comics, and woof, what a mess.
Which ones? Most of them are.
Yeah.
That's just comics in general. They're just trash. There's
Saga's still doing great, and
here's the thing. This was I was gonna say earlier. There's not one American graphic novel in the top 20, and in Japan. There's not one Sony game in the top 30. It's all Switch games. And it's
Wow.
not because Switch overall is so awesome that it should take up all 30 spaces, but there's just nothing in Japan that Japanese players are buying for PlayStation because they're pissed with the PlayStation. And like I said, we'll get into that next week because there's some stories still developing.
Heard.
It ain't looking good over there.
And so closing statements. With all of the debacles and everything, what's a company you're gonna know mine? What's a company you're proud to support and stand behind? And for me right now, it's still Capcom. Love them. Still making good stuff. I'm even thinking about starting to tackle the Mega Mans and doing replays. Because I think the only one I've ever finished. What's easier? Is it 1 or 2? One of them is much easier. I beat the easy one. I think it's 1. Because I think 2 is Flashman and he's like an asshole. Anyway.
Oh, wait, Mega Man?
Yeah, Mega Man 1 or 2. Which one is the easy one?
Mega Man 2 is way easier than Mega Man 1.
I beat Mega Man 2.
Mega Man 1 is like borderline unbeatable unless you're just like godly and like that's what you play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mega Man 2 is the only one I beat. And that's...
And Mega Man 2 has a password system too, which also saves you.
That's the reason I got it, because I borrowed my buddy's code.
Yeah.
And because I never owned the game, I went to his house. And, I'd beat a level, and then I'd beat a level, and we would write on a composition book what our password was. Mm-hmm. And I remember he had to help me beat.
And remember the password on Mega Man 2 was like a grid. So you put the little circles in the...
It's freaking great. Anyway, Capcom, bless you. I will probably, very likely, play Street Fighter 6. I am that dude.
Duh.
I want CVS 3. That's what I actually want.
I want SNK versus Capcom 2 or 3.
No,
I want that one.
It's okay. Well, actually, yeah. Now that SNK is not using their 15-year-old engine, yes, I would like to see that game.
They could just borrow Capcom's and just make it in there. Like
everybody's using Unreal now, so it's all Gucci. All Gucci. We're going in reverse order. By the way, if you need to follow me, Instagram and Twitter at loudnbrown. Steam and PlayStation, I am GrowStuff with a PH. Moving on to Saverings ... This has been Lucky Bandit.
Signing off. What's up? This is the Saverings ... Find me on the Steam group. We do hand out free games on there. And find me on some Final Fantasy 14. If you want to come get your high fantasy carbuncle fighting Ifrit and all that cool stuff on. If you want to be a cat girl and hang out in Limsa lower decks and
shoes.
Yeah, you want to hang out with baby shoes. You can't miss me.
Damn it.
I'm the little Lalafell with the halo.
That name so much.
I'm the little Lalafell with the halo over my head, wearing the powder blue tuxedo with the paladin gauntlets on. That's me. You can't miss me.
And also, we've refused to believe that Sage Bell is not the bunny race. So good. Such perfect cosplay that would be.
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
The tallest rabbit of them all.
Yeah. People would die.
You can make them.
People would die at the next fully booster shot con.
I made a She-Hulk for my retainer, and when you make characters, you can save their appearance, and if you want, you can change your characters around, and you can just load that appearance, and it'll look like that. So I think at some point I'm gonna switch to my Jennifer Walters, like when I play a monk and just run around and just punch stuff as Jennifer Walters.
Nice.
So I think I'm gonna do that. So yeah, that's it. Got the sagiest of bells. Who all get in there. First future Vieira right there.
Yeah.
Hi.
How you doing?
We're supposed to say a company that we're proud of, that's a game developer. How about I choose Question? They're the developer and publisher, so they're an indie studio for the game The Blackout Club.
Nice. I totally forgot to answer that in mine. Sitting here right now, I don't know, because there were a few.
You basically said Square, my homie.
No,
but you did.
No, because Square also make that shitty Avengers game at the same time, and they also pump out Hitman games every 6 months. So no, not really Square either. And this is Square from 2012 that I'm playing right now. This isn't Square in modern day. And the only other one I could think of before would be Paradox, but Paradox is fucking up too. So I don't know. I know there are some, but off the top of my head, I can't think of any. Anyway,
So name of the company again, Sagebell?
I already forgot what I said. Uh,
What was it? Run it back.
Question.
Okay.
Literally, that's the name of the developer and publisher. It's just they've slowly, because the game's kind of been like early release, but not really at the same time. They've slowly made like their character customization more inclusive with the game. Plus, they've added a lot more other features and story to it as it's come through. So it's
Question Games, the Blackout Club, but they also have their release, the Magic Circle.
never heard of it. I just played Blackout Club with Hot Riku Girl and then slowly convincing another friend.
Tight. Good to know, though. Gotta support those
Mhm.
indie games. Maybe we could get one of them on the podcast. That'd be great.
Would be great.
Go talk to Steven Alexander and Steve Pardo. I don't know. Whatever. We'll find them. We'll find them.
Yeah.
Well, either way, I'll see you guys on Twitch at 7 p.m. Pacific time on my Sage Bell account. Right, Rosie?
Nice. There's the dog
Right,
whisperer.
Rosie. So, Maniacs, if you haven't already, not only are we on this lovely... Oh, hi, Rosie. Not only are we on this lovely Twitch stream that you're probably on. Oh, hi, Rosie. We're also on Facebook. We're also Instagram and Twitter, salt_tier_pod. Everything else, Salt Tier Podcast. We do not have a Patreon yet because we don't have anything to give you yet. We do not have an OnlyFans because I like wearing shirts. And
Actually, don't worry about that because they're about to cut down on all that on OnlyFans.
Yeah, they are.
That, right?
Still be shirtless.
No.
Okay,
It's gotta
Yes,
be,
you can. Nudity's still allowed.
It's got to be tastefully done, though. And what's the fun in that?
And so find us on Christian Mingle, Zanga, Live Journal, and
Classmates.
Dogster. We're on Dogster.
CompuServe.
Jesus. And visit our GeoCities website or we'll internet punt you.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got. Manex has been beautiful. Please drink Voodoo Ranger IPA. # live dangerously. Cheers to all of you. Want to thank Keith the Boogie and his company that will not be named at the moment.
Yeah.
Ooh, his shadow company.
Yes, his Shadow Corporation.
The Shadow Spaghetti.
Shinra.
The secrets of Shinra. Thank you, Shinra, for producing this podcast. This has been beautiful, and we will see you with some PAX updates because it's happening in 2 weeks. Oh my God, it's happening in 2 weeks. That is all. Thank you kindly.